Hello and welcome to BQ Pharma. Overall, some smart moves coming in terms of the markets, and clearly we are at the day's highest levels overall. We opened at levels of around 17,700, and now we are at 17,747. So good moves coming in today's day of trade, and a lot of support that's coming in from the financial majors as well as the real estate pack. To discuss individual counters and what are charts and derivative data actually indicating. Ajit Mishra, VP at Religare, joins in. Ajit, good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Mishra. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. Ajit, my first question coming to you is, if you take from Friday's session, a pretty flattish move is what we saw in terms of Friday, and this was despite the negative market breadth as well. Today, in this last one and a half hour of trade, we've seen the smart up move that has come in, not a major one though. What are levels actually indicating specifically with regards to Nifty? Because this is going to be expiry week as well.
That's right, Neil. So, the last week, it was a week of, profiting correction, you can call it, because after like 3 weeks of successive rise, the last week was devoted more to the consolidation. And in the final expiry week, monthly expiry week, we have started on a positive note thanks to, the buoyancy in the banking and financials major largely. And then we are seeing like select stocks from the other sectors also pitching in, like, some rebound in the reality counters, reality majors and IT majors as well. So broadly, we are eyeing level close to around 17,850 to 18,100 positioning. There could be, a breather around 17,750, 17,760 level, which is very close to that mark we are currently trading in. So tomorrow's opening is going to be a decisive one, because in case if we manage to open this hurdle above this, 17,760 hurdle, then maybe 100, 200 more points is something that we can see in the index, before the expiry. On the downside, 17,600 to 17,550 is a zone basically where we have multiple supports. So as of now, it's a buy and dip market, and 17,600 is the key pivot basically. As long as we are holding up this mark, the tone should be positive.
Right. Moving on in terms of Bank Nifty as well, how are you looking at it? Because clearly, if you see, there has been buying interest at the support levels of almost 42,000 that we are seeing in terms of Bank Nifty. It's held on to that 41,800 to 40,000, 42,000 already in today's session as well. Where are we seeing resistance in terms of Bank Nifty now?
That's right. In fact, if you exclude one session, last week, that was on Friday when the banking index underperformed the Nifty. But largely, if you see that it was a very narrow range, kind of a like time-wise correction that we saw in the banking index in comparison to what we, observed in the Nifty index. So it's comparatively stronger. And if you see that banking, FMCG, auto, these are the top 3 sectors contributors which are like, helping the market to inch higher. While energy and the IT baskets are completely in the back foot. So we feel this positive tone will continue. And in fact, earlier we were seeing that, the PSU counters were not participating in the banking space. Now we are seeing decent traction in, the PSU space as well. So close to around 43,000, 43,100 is what we are eyeing as an immediate target. And as you rightly mentioned, that 42,000, 41,900 is a zone where we have multiple supports. So again, for banking index also, one should look for, accumulating quality stocks on dips.
Right. So that's with regards to Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. Now, if you see in terms of stock-specific action, but before we go through that, if you have to look at expiry, what are the kind of closing levels are we anticipating?
As the last week was more of like corrective phase, and today we had strong positioning around 17,700 calls. So now we are seeing that Nifty is taking out this level decisively. Tomorrow's opening, as I've said, is going to be critical. But broadly, we are anticipating that we could see this level of close to around 17,850 to 900 before expiry.
Okay. And in terms of stock-specific action, if you see today's session, HDFC Life, Tata Consumer Persistent, all these counters are the ones which are seeing long build-up. What should the strategy be?
So BHEL is, in select stocks like, HDFC Life, Tata Consumer, seeing decent traction with strong volumes, no doubt. But if you see the structure of most of these names, they were like, either witnessing profit taking or consolidation, or the trend was down. So I feel that as of now, in case if somebody is looking for any fresh bet, banking is the safest space to be in. So PSU banks, select private banks, Axis have not participated yet. Today we are seeing decisive move in Axis. We believe that this move should extend further. Other than that, IT is something that we are avoiding. So though we may continue to see this rebound extending in some of these mid cap IT names as well as the IT majors also, but the texture looks negative to us. So for a time being, as we have discussed in the beginning itself, that auto, FMCG, and banking are the three sectors basically which we are closely eyeing.
Okay. And moving from there on, if you see in terms of the other names as well, let's take, for example, ICICI, Pru, Sun Pharma, PVR. These counters are seeing some short build up as well in today's day of trade. What should the strategy be?
So that's right, that some of these stocks are witnessing pressure also. But broadly, if you see the picture, that when it comes to the pharma basket, last week it was a very strong week for the pharma names. But some of these stocks, like Sun Pharma, we are witnessing a bit of a profit taking, but it's not the reason to go short. And similarly, like in PVR also, we are seeing a bit of a down move. But this level close around 1460, 1450 is the area basically where we have multiple supports. So as of now, we are not recommending our clients to go short. We are looking for positive positions. We are looking for bullish positions to accumulate on dips as long as we are holding above 17,400 mark on positional basis.
Right. Moving from there on, if you see in terms of the other majors in today's day of trade, how are you looking at a WebPro as a Titan in today's session?
So Titan is definitely one of the interesting names because if you see that among the index contributors, Titan also contributed in today's session. It's up nearly 2.5%, and this zone close around 2650 was a zone which it resisted last time, and then we saw decent profit taking phase. It's like on the verge of overcoming that hurdle. So I believe that this zone may be closer to around 27, 25, 2750, something that it may test. So one can definitely look at Titan for fresh buying also with 2570 as a stop, and positionally 2725 to 2750 as a target.
Right. Ajit, apart from that, from the banking space, PNB, good up move, strong volumes as well as a strong addition in terms of open interest. Are you seeing strength structurally as well?
So PNB is comparatively, bigger picture if I compare it with Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, SBI. But yes, now we are seeing a bit of a recovery or a catch-up move that we are seeing some of these other PSU names. I would be comfortable once it crosses 51 level decisively. Before that, I would rather prefer the other names like top three names: SBI, Canara Bank, and Bank of Baroda within the PSU basket in case if we are playing this rebound.
Right. If you see in terms of other majors right now, how are you seeing a BHEL in terms of the derivative data as well as a Tata Steel?
So BHEL, yes, we expect this, after this almost like 2-3 months of corrective phase, we are seeing gradual recovery, and this recovery should strengthen, and maybe closer to around 80, 82 is something that the stock may test. So one can definitely, hold or buy fresh also at current levels. But 73 as a stop, and as I said, 80 to 82 should be a target area. Metal stocks, I am comparatively not very sure of, considering the kind of volatility that we are seeing and lack of sustenance in the recent rebound. So barring JSW Steel, General Steel, which are comparatively better structures, rest of the name is something that one should avoid.
And how are you looking at the pharma space? Because a lot of weakness in today's session in terms of pharma majors like a Sun Pharma, Biocon, PV, Cipla. What should the strategy be?
So in fact, till last week, pharma like defensives were on the front foot when the others were witnessing profit taking. So it's a kind of like a normal reaction that we are seeing, that now the rate sensitives are aggressive and we are seeing profit taking. So again, within the pharma space, one needs to be selective. So stock like Dr. Reddy's, Divis, this decline is a buying opportunity. At the same time, stocks which were underperforming earlier, stock like Biocon, that might continue to witness pressure. Then we have Cipla also, which was witnessing pressure on every rise. So one needs to be selective, and as we've said that stock like Sun Pharma, which is witnessing the normal profit taking, but trading closer to the record highs. So relatively, if I have to choose, then I'll prefer like Sun Pharma, stock like Oro Pharma, Glenmark, Dr. Reddy's, Divi's, to buy fresh or to accumulate, when we see some further correction.
Ajit, in the Hero Moto, the option volumes are pretty strong right now. The stock is up and the volumes are also pretty decent. What should the strategy be with the Hero Moto?
So yes, in fact, as a disclosure that we are recommended to our clients also, and we booked the profit around close to around 2550 levels. And this is the zone basically where we have multiple resistances. This band close to around 2530 to 2550 in Hero Moto. So comparatively, Bajaj Auto is a stronger structure. But just in case somebody wish to play a rebound, then this zone, 2480. 2470 should be your stop loss. One should not, look for a bigger stop losses, because the risk reward is also not very favorable in case if we go beyond this level. So with 2470 as a stop, around 2550 to 2570 is something that one can look at.
Okay. And how are you seeing a WebPro? 2.7 times is the average options volume. The stock is up as well as the volumes are also pretty okay.
So I guess this reaction is maybe because of that, rumor around possible buyback announcement. And as I've said, we are seeing select stock from the IT basket also witnessing a rebound in today's session. But to change the structure, we need sustenance in terms of at least a week long strong candle formation with volumes. Then we might look at this sector as a buy candidate. But as of now, it's just a rebound. So in case if you're stuck in the past positions, you should use this rebound to liquidate those positions if it's a short-term trade.
Right. Ajit, apart from the names that we've already discussed, anything that comes to your radar that someone should look at from a tomorrow's trade perspective, at least keeping expiry into consideration?
So largely, Hiral, we are focusing on banks, and we have already discussed about Can Bank, Bank of Baroda. These are very strong structures. Then we have stocks like IDFC First Bank and Federal Bank. So both these banks, we have seen very strong consolidation. The risk reward is favorable. So when it comes to Federal Bank, it's quoting around 132. Maybe in the next leg, we can see the stock readjusting a level close to 138 to 142 in next 1 week time. So with the stock of around 128, one can look at Federal Bank. And similarly for the IDFC also, the stock is putting around this 58 levels. We expect this stock to hold this 56 zone in case if it witnesses any pause or correction. And positionally around 62 to 64 is something that one can look at.
Right. So these are a few names one should be watching out for as well. Thank you, Ajit, so much for joining us on the show and giving us those views for the stocks that we've discussed. But it's an interesting move in terms of where markets go. We are ending at the day's highest levels as well. 17,754.5 is the day's high, and that's where we are trading at right now. We hit a low of around 17,612 in today's session. So good up move coming in. A lot of support coming in from the banking majors as well. If you see Bank Nifty up almost 1.3% in trade, and 42,655 is where Bank Nifty is ending at. Overall, if you see in terms of gainers, HDFC Life is the top gainer, followed by Tata Consumers, WebPro, Titan, as well as an Axis Bank. And on the losing end, you have majority of the pharma majors like Dr. Reddy's, Cipla, Divi's Laboratories, IndusInd Bank under pressure, post earnings, as well as a Maruti Suzuki, which is down in trade. Sensex as well, we are above the 60,000 mark once again in terms of Sensex, and good volumes with regards to RVNL as well as the Indiabulls Real Estate, and gains upwards of around almost in that range of 11 to 15% there. Schneider up around 10%. Mirza International is an interesting one as well. In the last 5 trading sessions, the stock is up almost over 60% in trade, as well as Maharashtra Bank is seeing some smart moves. TCM, Shriram, Yes Bank, a few of the top losers coming in there. So a lot of stock-specific action, a lot of newsmakers in today's session, but the markets have taken an interesting turn in the last hour of trade, and we are ending at the day's highest levels. That's all that we have in this session. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.